Three movies into a film franchise that started way back in 2009, and the world of Avatar is still stunning. But is it still exciting? Or are we just watching the same world again and again? Epic visuals, insane technology, jaw-dropping action, but is the latest installment just a hollow spectacle? Hello and welcome to my channel, Curious Giraffe. My name is Bhaskar, and today we're diving in to see if Avatar: Fire and Ash lives up to the hype. Today we're looking at Avatar: Fire and Ash, the third film in James Cameron's Avatar franchise. And the big question I walked out of the theater asking myself was this: did we really need this movie? While Fire and Ash looks visually spectacular, as expected, it also feels like the franchise is spinning its wheels, relying on technology instead of storytelling. And for a movie that runs 3 hours and 17 minutes, that's a serious problem. So let's break it down. Avatar: Fire and Ash arrives as the third chapter in a series that began all the way back in 2009 when Avatar completely changed the game. That first film wasn't just a blockbuster, it was a technological earthquake. 3D movies suddenly mattered. Motion capture reached levels we hadn't seen before. Pandora felt alive in a way no fiction world had before. Fast forward 13 years to Avatar: The Way of Water in 2022. That film justified the wait by pushing the technology forward again, especially with its underwater motion capture sequences. Those sequences were genuinely stunning, and visually, Cameron once again proved why he's considered one of the greatest technical filmmakers of all time. We also got new environments, new tribes, new characters that expanded the world in a meaningful way. And now comes Avatar: Fire and Ash, and here's the issue. It offers nothing new. A visual spectacle once again, no doubt. Let's get this out of the way first. Yes, the visuals are top-notch. The motion capture technology is flawless. The environments are extremely detailed. The creatures are beautifully animated. The action scenes are polished and technically extremely impressive. But we've seen all of this before. That's the problem. In 2009, Avatar was revolutionary. In 2022, The Way of Water felt like an evolution. In Fire and Ash, there is no evolution at all. There is no major visual leap, no new cinematic language, no "how did they even do that" moments. It feels like an extended version of The Way of Water rather than a bold new chapter. The technology is still incredible, but it's no longer surprising. And when spectacle is your main selling point, losing that sense of awe is dangerous. Now, where are all the new characters? Another thing that really stood out to me was how uninspired the character work feels this time around. The second film introduced new tribes and new family dynamics and fresh faces that gave the story at least some emotional grounding. Avatar: Fire and Ash doesn't bring that same energy. There are no refreshingly new characters that truly shake things up. No one who challenges the status quo in a meaningful way. Yes, Oona Chaplin as Varang is a new, but that's about it. She's a new character. Everyone fits neatly into their respective boxes, and the film never dares to subvert expectations. You always know who the good guys are, you always know who the bad guys are, and you always know exactly where the conflict is heading. There are no real surprises, and that's devastating for a movie of this length. Now let's talk about that runtime problem. 3 hours and 17 minutes. For comparison, Avatar, released in 2009, was 2 hours and 42 minutes. The Way of Water Part 2, released in 2022, was 3 hours and 12 minutes. But here's the key difference. The first Avatar movie earned its runtime. It had the massive job of introducing Pandora, the Na'vi, the politics, the conflict, and the emotional stakes, all from scratch. Parts 2 and 3 don't have that burden. By now, we know this world. We understand the Na'vi culture. We understand the human conflict. We understand the moral lines. So the question becomes, is there enough story here to justify over 3 hours? In my opinion, no. The story meanders. It jumps from one set piece to another. Scenes feel stretched. conflicts repeat themselves, the movie keeps showing us variations of the same struggle without offering a deeper perspective or escalation. The story also goes nowhere. This is where Fire and Ash struggles the most. The screenplay lacks a sense of urgency. There's no central narrative hook that pulls you forward. The movie spends a lot of time circling the same ideas: nature versus humanity, family versus destruction, tradition versus exploitation, without adding any new layers. The conflict feels very inevitable and predictable. The confrontations feel obligatory rather than dramatic. And the emotional beats don't land with the weight they should. You're never genuinely worried about where the story is going because you already know that. For a franchise this ambitious, that's a major disappointment. Avatar Fire and Ash is a technical marvel, but a hollow experience. Now let me be clear, Avatar movies are incredibly hard to make. They require enormous budgets, years of production, cutting-edge technology, an army of visual effects artists, and a director with James Cameron's vision, discipline. And on a technical level, Fire and Ash succeeds. There's no doubt about that. The production values are outstanding. The action scenes are expertly staged. The chase sequences are thrilling in isolation. But none of that fills the emotional void at the center of the film. This movie feels rather hollow. Polished on the outside, but empty within. And that's why, for me, it's the weakest of the three Avatar films so far. And this brings us to the big question, where does the franchise go from here? James Cameron already has plans for Avatar 4 and 5, but should he make them? Or should he take this incredible technology, this unparalleled expertise, and apply it to a fresh new story instead of stretching the franchise thinner? At this point, the Avatar feels less like a visionary saga and more like a technological showcase searching for a reason to exist. Pandora is still beautiful, the filmmaking is still impressive, but the magic, that sense of discovery, is fast fading. Avatar Fire and Ash is not a bad movie, but it is a disappointing one. It proves that stunning visuals alone are no longer enough. Without a compelling story, memorable characters, and meaningful surprises, even the most advanced technology in the world can't hold an audience for over 3 hours. If you're a big Avatar fan, you'll probably admire the craft. If you're a casual viewer, you might find yourself checking the time. And that's not something a film of this scale should ever make you do. Well, that's my review of Avatar Fire and Ash. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. I will be back with another video very soon. Until then, it's bye from me.